Hey guys, this is Kristin from KristinCoaching.com, and thank you again for joining me for another video today. I want to talk about emotional distancing and why that is the silent killer of relationships. I want you guys to really pay attention to this video because this is something that you or your significant other or both could be doing right now. And I'm telling you, this leads to a path of destruction of the relationship and of breakups down the road. So I don't want you to do this, but it's important to know what emotional distancing is and how to stop doing it, okay? So emotional distancing is essentially when someone in the relationship is putting up an emotional wall, okay? And oftentimes there's an incongruence between how someone is feeling on the inside and what they're thinking and experiencing internally versus how it's expressed outwardly to their significant other. So usually when this happens, someone in the relationship who doesn't have that emotional wall up is picking up on confusion. You know, they're seeing that you seem upset, you seem sad, you seem hurt, something's going on, but maybe you're saying everything's fine, everything's okay, and pretending like it's not. So it usually leaves one person in the relationship to be very confused and not knowing how to approach you, how to help you, how to support you, right? We're in relationships as a team and as a partnership, and so both people in the relationship can be there for one another and help each other get through these emotional hurdles that we're going through, right? So an emotional distance is when you're putting up a wall and you are not expressing yourself, okay? So in healthy relationships, and all healthy relationships, there must be authenticity and communication in your relationship. If authenticity does not happen, then you are not able to get to that deep layer of being able to connect with your partner. And this can be very scary for people, hence why they usually build up an emotional wall and become distant emotionally, because we're afraid to be vulnerable. We're afraid to be disappointed with our significant others. We're afraid to get hurt after we open up emotionally. Most likely this has happened to you in past relationships, or maybe when you were really, really young as a child, and maybe your caregivers, your parents, you know, never protected you emotionally, or they disappointed you when you were trying to be honest and open with them. I don't, you know, again, where it started from is not necessarily the point. I think it's important to know that and identify it, but what's most important is to recognize what you are doing right now in this relationship and how it can be contributing to the detriment of the relationship down the road. So you must be honest, you must communicate. And in order to communicate, when you actually are able to do that and talk to your significant other about what you need and what you're going through, this allows your partner the opportunity to actually show up for you and be there for you and support you and do the tasks that a significant other is supposed to do. Oftentimes we can be so used to being independent and handling things on our own that we don't even want to bother doing it. But by doing that and you're building that wall, you are creating a disconnect. And in a relationship, you have to connect with each other and you have to allow your partner to show up and love you and be there for you and support you. And they're not going to know how to do that if you're not communicating and you're not being authentic and honest and open with them. Okay, so emotional distancing can absolutely cause a breakdown of communication, an emotional distance between you and your significant other, a disconnect. It can cause frustration in the relationship. And it's something that oftentimes people are not even necessarily aware they're doing, that they're even doing it. So I want you to ask yourself if you or your significant other are emotionally distancing in the relationship. Is anybody feeling shut down? Is anybody acting one way, but you can tell that something's going on? Usually you have a gut instinct that your partner's going through something, but you just don't know what it is. I think a really good example of how to overcome emotional distancing and how to start breaking down those emotional barriers are to start talking about your day, okay? You don't necessarily need to just go from 0 to 100 and talk about your relationship, what's not working for you, what you're worried about, you know, what you're sad about in your relationship. And that can be very overwhelming, especially if you haven't been doing that and you're so used to being having the emotional wall up, right? But a good way to start being authentic, breaking down the wall, is to talk about your day and specifically identify some feelings or thoughts you've had in your day. You know, what made you surprised? What made you happy? What made you scared? What made you sad? What made you worried? You know, and it doesn't necessarily need to be about the relationship, but it is about something personal that went on in your life, and that does give your partner the chance to show up for that and be able to know what's been going on for you and support you with if you've had a good day or not and why. It's just really, really good practice if you're not used to being emotionally vulnerable, or you're not used to being authentic, or you're not used to communicating with your significant other. So you've got to practice doing these little things daily by expressing yourself to your significant other, letting them know what's been going on in your life and how you feel, and eventually you can make your way towards talking about aspects of the relationship more, what's working for you, what's not working for you. But if you need to do baby steps to get there, that's totally fine. But you have to start practicing, and you have to start being aware that an emotional wall has been happening. Emotional distance has been created in the relationship. Once you identify that, okay, let's start breaking that down. Let's start communicating. Let's start being authentic. Let's start really having a big talk with each other so we can support each other as a team, as a unit, as a partnership. That's what relationships are. You have to be in this world together, tackling things together as a team, and doing it side by side and supporting each other. So I want you to ask yourself if emotional distancing is happening in your relationship. And if it is, whether it's you or your significant other, hopefully this video gave you some tips and tricks on how to handle that, identify it, and know the importance of dealing with it now so it doesn't kill your relationship down the road. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, my name is Kristin. I'm from KristinCoaching.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube page if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video, or if you have any other tips of topics that you would like me to do in the future. I'm all ears. I want to hear from you. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye.